Hello. So this is another one. I just found myself coming to the desk to sit down. So let's see what the Most High has for us this time. What message? What enlightenment does the Most High want to bestow upon us at this time? What do you have to say, Most High? It's a message that somebody needs to hear. The message is I'm holding the deck upside down. But other than that, we have the topic of envy. So it says, I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. So it makes no sense to be envious of anyone. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. We have blame. It says, I accept responsibility for my well-being. Yeah. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. We all serve the same God, whether we acknowledge that as true or not. Whatever we serve, whatever we believe in as our source, we all have one of those, even if it's yourself. Okay? So we need to accept responsibility for our well-being. Blame. Everybody has the opportunity to take up a book and learn what you want to learn, or go and take time to get to know yourself so you can learn what your natural gifts are, so that you can pay more attention to those and eventually make it into a lucrative business, or use it as a trade to get whatever it is that you want out of life, really. Okay, so if money is not your thing, if you prefer to just get the credit, or if you prefer to just make a beautiful mark on the world, or whatever it is, you have no choice but to accept responsibility for your well-being. Yeah, you need to find the courage. It says, I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. So if you choose to be afraid to go after your dreams, if you choose to be too concerned with what people think about you, if you choose to shy away from your dreams for any reason, then if you don't have what you want in life, then who else is to be blamed but you? You know, so God wants us to take a look at ourselves at this time when it comes to that spirit of envy. Instead of looking at other people's lives and saying, oh, I wish I had this, I wish I was like that, I wish. You need to figure out, who the hell are you? Because God made everybody incredible in some way. So in what way are you incredible? Go after that with courage. And if you choose to allow fear to conquer you instead of allowing your courage to take the lead, then you have nobody but yourself to blame for your condition. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Okay. Yeah. So once you accept responsibility and you find that inner strength to face fear with confidence, then you can have peace and prosperity. You could be happy with your achievements. It says, I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. So you need to release all negative thinking. Okay? We've been doing this silly dance for way too long. Okay? A lot of people spend their lifetime caring too much about what the fuck people say and what people think about them. You know, it's just a couple days ago I was thinking about the elderly. And I've watched a few shows where they asked those who are like in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, like, what's the one thing that you regret about life? And a lot of the time their answer is giving a shit about what people think. Caring too much about what people think. I put it in my own language first, but basically that's what they're saying. They regret caring so much about what people think because it stopped them from being who they actually really wanted to be. And the second thing that they mention is having regrets about not going after their dreams. So you should take lessons from the elderly. Number one, stop caring so much about how people see you or how people will see you. Even if you want to do something new, everything that we see in the world today was at one point new to the masses. Okay, it's hard to break in something new into society. But if you have something new to introduce, it just makes you unique. It makes you special. It makes you chosen. God, why did God choose you? It's a heavy load to bear. Imagine what it was like for the first person who decided that they wanted, I don't know, to wear a bikini in public. You know? What else is taboo? Well, inventing stuff. The first phone, even sharing that concept. Yeah, let's look at things from when they're in their state of conception. So it's like you have an idea in your head that you want to give life to. Now imagine telling that to somebody who doesn't have the vision. Which leads me to the reason why God is calling you. Because if you can see it, that means you're the one who's supposed to give life to this. Okay? So imagine you're sharing this dream with someone who was not given the ability to see the goodness of what you have been given. They're going to discourage you. You don't need approval from anybody. You just need to approve of yourself. Okay? You need to live your truth. Then you won't have to worry about envy so much. Okay? Look, denial. Stop denying your path. Stop denying your gifts. And trust. Replace denial with trust. Have faith. There's a reason why God put something in you and not in someone else. So if you want to be too afraid of what people gonna think about you and how people gonna treat you for you standing up and being the greatest version of yourself that you can be, or the most unique version of yourself that you can be, or the most exceptional version of yourself that you can be, then you deserve whatever you get in it. Life wasn't made for the weak, only the brave. Strength. Only the brave, man. I'm not the type to have pity on people. Usually. Some people deserve a gentle touch. Some people deserve compassion and things like that. But a lot of people, they waste their time and they waste their life away and then expect people to feel sorry for them. A lot of people, they choose to be weak. They choose to stand down and then ask, where was God when I needed God to XYZ? God was always within you, encouraging you in your mind. God was always having people like me around you to tell you. But did you listen? You choose to listen to that? No. You choose to listen to the voice that tell you to be weak, to do nothing, to go in a different direction. That's not fair. God has equipped us all with everything that we need, and anything that you don't have to achieve what you need to achieve, you need to trust that it will come when it's time. We don't have no excuses. If you want to stay there and let people abuse you, for example, then God didn't tell you to stay there and allow somebody to abuse you. You have the right to fight back, or you have the right to walk away and trust that the universe is going to make this thing play out however, but you have to be willing to take a chance, take a risk, because you never know what you can achieve. You can't get vexed with God for not giving you what the next person has. So whatever it is that you're feeling envious about, you have no excuses, because we all have chances, we all have opportunities, we all have wisdom, and at the very least, we all have potential. It's for us to choose the path that we want to take. But a lot of us choose the path of diversion, choose the path of fear, choose the path of denial, choose the path of lack of faith. Don't be angry at God if that's how you choose to live. Your mind is capable of harnessing any thought. You could choose to harness good ones, or you could choose to harness bad ones. You could choose to harness motivating ones, or you could choose to harness debilitating ones. You choose. I'm sick of people being angry with God for not doing this and not doing that. What about what you're not doing? God has already done its part. God has provided you with every body part that you need, including your wisdom, including your spirit. Just want to talk shit about where was God when this was happening, and how come God blessed them and God didn't bless me. What the fuck were you doing with yourself? Who the hell were you listening to? That's what I want to know. Who the hell were you listening to that steered you away from the thoughts and your desires and your dreams? Who discouraged you from exercising your natural talents? It was you and them. It wasn't God. Stop it. You and them decided on your fate, and that's why you're where you're at today. It was not God. Because anytime you ask God to help you, God would have been right there ready to help you. You weren't thinking about God. You weren't thinking about having faith. You thought that you had all that you had. And so you listened to whoever you were listening to, including your negative side of yourself. And hence, you are where you're at today. And then they think that they have such strong arguments about where was God when blah, blah, blah. And how come God made my life like this? Shit. Take responsibility for your well-being. With prayer. You start with prayer. But you need to do it your damn self. If you don't know what to do, you start with prayer. If you don't feel strong enough, you start with prayer. If you don't feel brave enough, you start with prayer. If you feel alone, you start with prayer. Most of us grow up in some kind of religious background. So most of us have in our consciousness the concept of God or spirituality or some higher being than ourselves. Every one of us. And even if you want to think that that higher being is yourself, every one of us, or even if you think it's the devil, every one of us grow up with a concept of a higher being or a super being. Use it. Let's see what else God wants to tell us at this time. If you're gonna choose to be weak and choose to be scared and choose to be faithless and choose to be lazy, don't blame God then, innit? We have a mystery card there. Oh yeah, la 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 la. Ooh, 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 ooh. See what else God wants to tell us. Renewal. It says review the past and the present so you can plan a bright new future. So review the past and the present. I haven't finished reading it, but that's the card. Review the past and the present so you can plan a bright new future. So what I'm getting from that so far is you need to look at where you're coming from. Look at the thoughts that you've chosen to harness. Look at the thoughts that you've chosen to give in life to. Look at the people that you've chosen to look at or listen to up until now. Okay? And decide whether or not you want to still hold those thoughts as true, whether or not you still want to listen to those people, whether or not you still want to go along that path. Because that's what got you to the state of envy in the first place. So envying someone means you see somebody with something that you wish you had. Or you see somebody living in a state of being that you wish you were living in. Look back and see the people who were influencing you. See the choices that you were choosing to make. See the thoughts that you were choosing to conjure up in your mind and choosing to believe in and give life to, which ended you up in a state of lack. It was all down to you. No matter how hard the alternative path is, if you choose not to take that path, you have chosen not to take that path. And therefore, the rewards that you would have gotten on that path, you don't deserve because you were too afraid to take the hard path. There's no excuse. Only the brave. So yeah, it said understanding your life purpose. See, that's talking about getting to know your natural talents. What do you actually love doing? What do you find yourself great at without even trying? That's what you should be focusing on because that's where your glory is. If you want to be famous, if you want to be rich, if you want to be happy, if you want to make a difference in the world, you need to be in your purpose. Your purpose is whatever God has already put inside of you and whatever else you find inside of you naturally in the future. Even if it starts with a thought, because sometimes you get the vibe like, ooh, I would love to be able to drive, for example. You have no clue how to drive, but you have the thought. That means there's something on that path for you. If you really feel like in your heart you should be driving, God is steering you in that direction for a reason. Now, if you're afraid to drive behind lorries, or if you're afraid to get on the motorway, or if you're afraid of reversing, or if you're afraid of parking in tight spaces, then what do I have to do with God? That's on you. If you make these things deter you from going to drive, that was your decision. You see how this works? So you can either move forward in fear or you can move forward with prayer. So you say understanding your life purpose, releasing judgments of yourself and others. So God is saying, even if you choose to be weak, then just choose to be weak, but don't hate nobody for it. If you choose to be strong, choose to be strong, but don't hate nobody. And if other people have chosen to be weak, don't hate them. And if they have chosen to be strong and therefore achieve the things that you have become envious of, don't hate them because they sacrificed. They paid for that. Whether they paid for it with prayer, whether they paid for it with courage, whether they paid for it by long hours of studying. You know, people prayed for people. They put in the work to get whatever they have, even if they got it through dishonest means, which I'm not going to recommend. But at the end of the day, they put in work. Let's not talk about the karma that's gonna come, but they put in work. What are you doing? What are you doing to make yourself special, feel special? What are you doing to show your uniqueness? What are you doing for you to make your latter years better than your former years? What are you doing? What are you telling yourself? That's gonna make all the difference. The underlying issue is the Four of Summer. Look at her. Just gazing. This card says being distracted and failing to see a magical opportunity. Taking someone or something for granted. Discontentment with life. God said it's time to renew your spirit from that kind of energy. Okay? Renew your spirit from that kind of energy, because you have a lot more power than you want to tell yourself or give yourself credit for to make your life a much better one. You have the power to make your life so great that other people would be envious of you, which that shouldn't be your goal, but you understand what I mean. It's like you have nothing to feel jealous of other people about. You have the same 2 hand, 2 foot, 2 eye, mouth, nose, brain, breath. You have strength, you have wisdom, you have heart, you have prayer. You know, you have a God. You can get a support system once you pray for whatever you pray for. Anything you don't have, you pray for it. Get up. Make it happen. Let's see what the mystery card is. Release. It says let go of the past. An ending that makes way for new opportunities. It's time to move on. Yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. God says whatever happened back then, let it go. Let it go and renew yourself. If you don't let it go, you're going to stop this new opportunity from being able to be as magical and as potent as it can actually be. So just let go of the past. Let that be a learning curve for you. Okay? So you've already lived that life. You've already seen that side of the coin. So now make some different decisions. Get to know this side of the coin, the side of the coin where you don't care about what people think about you. The point where the side of the coin where you actually follow your heart and take risks, okay? Instead of living to have regrets, okay? Your glory awaits you. Your fame awaits you. Your money awaits you. Your new friends await you. Your new relationships await you. You know, your life will change in very wonderful and magical ways. But you have to make different decisions. You can't make the same decisions that got you to this point of your life where you feel envious of other people and their greatness. You understand? You can do it too. That's the whole objective here. You can do it. So, be light and free about it. Let it go. Let it go so you can smile again and go after your new life with a smile on your face and with joy in your heart and a pep in your step. Okay? Good luck. All right, bye-bye.